Are you playing an impossible lane? There is a simple mechanic that turns the hardest matchups into free farm for your core, and today I will show you how to use it. Creep dragging is a concept that has been in Dota for a long time, but a lot of players still struggle to know how to do that. What is it though? It usually happens on the offlane, where you take enemy creeps aggro and bring it closer to your tower, or even in between them. You are doing this because we already established in the lane gradient video that is showing on the top that having your creeps near your tower is almost always better than having them close to enemy tower. This is probably the most reliable and sure way to get creeps exactly where you want, as you are the one controlling them, and as long as you don't mess up, enemies won't be able to re-aggro their creeps while you're dragging. I think 9 class is a very good example to analyze for this exact reason, as he tends up to pick variety of positions 4 that normally struggle to have early impact. In this game we can see he's playing patch position 4 with Lycan, and they are playing against very hard lane, Terrorblade and Silencer, so double slow. You can aggro the creeps only at certain point of the lane, just behind tier 1 tower of enemy. Remember, the first wave is immune to that. The earliest you can drag is the second wave. So what you're supposed to do is drag the second wave, and your job is to get that under your tower or in between tier 1 and tier 2 towers. However, remember that the most important thing is simply to get the lane back. So in the end, what matters is you getting the creep wave. Even if you mess this up, you still get your offlaner 4 creeps under tower, which is better than he would get anyways. This is harder to pull off as Dire, as the timings are more awkward, and as Radiant, which is usually the case, that's why there's a win rate difference, it's easier. So it doesn't really matter where you drag the creep wave, although with some manipulation you can do it in a way that basically denies 2 waves. That means you take 2 creeps of your first wave, if not all of them, so you will have the next wave of yours to also deny. And look, after he's dragged the wave, he's going to the next wave, making sure he gets experience and gold from it, while leaving Lycan with full enemy wave that he can use to deny his own creeps. If the Silencer would decide to contest Lycan, they would have an easy time hooking him into the tower and killing, so basically that means this play cannot be countered. Notice how he aggroes the creeps to the side, so the next wave coming won't stop, and that's how with just some creep manipulations, he managed to get his Lycan free farm and solo experience, even though the lane is so hard. This one trick is basically auto-winning impossible lanes. This is also very important as it not only fixes impossible lanes for your core, so he gets free gold and experience, but you're also denying experience and gold from enemy carry, who's not expecting to have any problems on the lane where he's stronger. And here we can see the same thing with Dawnbreaker, so position 3. Falcons are playing double melee lane against enemy Sven and Warlock combo, a very nasty one. Ammar knows this, and he doesn't even show on the lane, but instead, he instantly drags the second wave under his tower, and after he does it, he's using the small trick to get just 2 creeps from his own wave into that I was talking about. The creeps walk strangely at this point of the lane, so it's quite easy to pull off. That allows him to farm safely under his tier 2 tower, and then he decides to connect the wave to his own. Keep in mind, he's only doing that to get even more creeps, otherwise he would static the wave and deny the second wave. And what do you mean by walking strangely? You can notice how the creeps split into 2 waves here when they are walking, between tier 1 and tier 2, right? So it's quite easy to pull this off. So as you can see, it's quite easy, but there are 2 very important things that you need to remember. First, make sure you block enemy small camp. If you go for the second wave, it's really convenient for you to just go through it, so the creeps, or you, block the camp with your body. Second, when you go high ground, you need to either attack or stop, so the creeps don't lose aggro on you. Dragging creeps is something that will win you impossible lanes, just make sure you practice it for a bit. The timings are very important, but as you can see, it's not that hard. Just keep the little things in your mind and you will start winning every lane. As always, subscribe to the channel and like the video to help with visibility. See you!